I'm Christian Abbott.
I'm Nathan Lavender.
I'm Sean Abbott, and this is the Red Mist Podcast.
Welcome to episode 2 of the Red Mist Podcast. Nate, let's start with NASCAR this weekend at the dirt oval that is Bristol.
Thunder Valley. Yes, NASCAR did go to Bristol Motor Speedway for the second dirt race that has ever happened. And I'd even say that it's... Look, I know what Bristol's trying to do. I know what the hype is behind it to make it more Bristol-like, if you will, like a Coliseum round, if you will. I think I will say, I mean, it's great that they're trying to do something, but I think this is too much, if you will. I don't think it's the right track for a dirt race if you are going to do a dirt race.
Well, I guess the better question is, because I think there's a lot of scrutiny about just the what Bristol has become over the years, right? So here's my first question: is dirt back in NASCAR a good thing?
Well, maybe in a lower division, like the trucks. I wouldn't say in the Cup. I think you just keep it on asphalt. It's certainly a great skill to have. I mean, they're seesawing at the wheel, really trying as hard as they can, each lap. So, I mean, it's not a minimized skill by no means.
So let me throw this out there. What if they went to a traditional dirt track, so like Eldora?
I'd welcome that.
Like back in the day, I mean, they used to go to the Springfield Mile, which is a mile-long dirt track. I think they do like dirt track motorcycle racing on it, but they did run. They ran big NASCAR cars there. So do you think a traditional, say, half mile, 3/4 mile dirt track would probably half mile? I think Eldora is a half mile. Even if it was a 1/4 mile, it'd be pretty cool. But a traditional dirt track might be better.
I mean, for sure, because what I'm thinking is like you say, Eldora. The first idea of dirt NASCAR going on dirt was Eldora, and it was with the trucks, and that was an amazing show.
Yeah,
My biggest takeaway from that was the qualifying heats, and there was one driver, Norm Benning, that usually has a very tough time making it to races. Very underfunded team. He owns it himself, Norm Benning Racing, and he made it by a whisker, by taking he was having a really intense battle with Clay Greenfield. He was another backmarker driver, but they made the show. They made the show. They really made it work, and they made it qualifying for the race that much more intense. And I would say it's good for trucks. I wouldn't go to Xfinity. I wouldn't bring it to Xfinity. That's when you start kind of, I guess, introducing road courses, right? I would say between the 3 series, Xfinity, the Xfinity series has the best schedule, just because of all the road courses that they have. And they need to go back to Gilles Villeneuve, but sticking to dirt. Eldora is only the real place.
Okay.
I mean,
what about? Well, you could also maybe Knoxville.
I was thinking Knoxville because of Tony Stewart's series. That wouldn't be a bad place either.
World of Outlaws. I mean, you're talking about those guys put down some serious horsepower. But I think my thought about NASCAR and dirt and being at a traditional dirt track is that the dirt tracks are better prepped than a temporary dirt track at Bristol on a high bank.
Yeah, but I also missed the Food City 500.
No.
They
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying that if they want to be at a dirt track, why not go to a traditional dirt track?
right.
You know, I mean, I'll be honest with you, the only high bank, what they call a high bank dirt track that I know of is Devil's Bowl, which the World of Outlaws go to. And I mean, that might be a quarter mile. That would not be a good show for a NASCAR race. You got to be on a half mile. But I'm just thinking that a dirt track, Eldora, Knoxville would be a better show.
I mean, certainly sounds like a good recipe.
Well, actually, the other thing that I thought of, does Eldora or the other track have the infrastructure for it? Can they hold as many fans as you could with Bristol?
That's part of the charm of it. It's not, but Bristol wasn't full.
No, I know, but if
Bristol's
they have
full, Bristol's full, like Nate said, the spring race, whatever what do they call it, the Food City 500?
Yes, yeah, that was there was no fans. There was like maybe 25%.
Really?
Full.
At the dirt race? I'm sorry.
Not the dirt race. I mean, I think there was a little more people than 25%.
So maybe the night race gets the big fan crowd, right?
It is. Oh my God, yeah.
All right. I mean, that's part of the problem in NASCAR right now. I mean, it's just, I think part of the charm of dirt tracks is that it's, when the World of Outlaws rolls into town, it's bang out, sellout, and yeah, it's like 10,000 people jammed into, some short track, I think, which is great. And you know what? NASCAR should take a hit, if you want to go to a dirt track, go there. You don't charge the dumb, the high end prices. I mean, the folks that go there are hardcore, and and it's it's a TV event, simple as that. And you do heat races, and and you do a last chance qualifier, and then you have the main. That's just my opinion.
If you're gonna show up to a dirt track, do the traditional dirt track.
Yeah, do a traditional dirt track event. Yeah.
I mean, I agree. I mean, I really don't think the Bristol dirt race is what you do.
It's like the uniqueness is so after year 2, the uniqueness has worn off.
Right. I mean, I would personally axe it after this year.
Yeah, but I think they're going to go back next year.
I'm kind of disgusted. I mean,
yeah, that's all right.
I don't know. Hear me out on this one. If you're going to do something like this, I mean, the better idea is to do it at maybe Martinsville.
No.
Because it's flat. Yeah.
Yeah, but
absolutely.
It's not a high speed. Like if you look at Eldora and you look at Knoxville and you watch the World of Outlaws, those guys have it matted all the way around. Granted, the cars are completely different and everything, but the thing about a dirt oval is it's completely momentum, whereas Martinsville is kind of down the straights, feather the gas into the corners, you may tap the brake, and then you back on the gas coming out of the corner. And it's definitely a track where a guy that gets hitched up and gets launched off the corners does really well and can get through traffic. But I like short track NASCAR racing. I do, because I think it's like
so
no holds bar. I mean,
especially
I'm
Richmond.
kind of excited that 2 tracks are coming back, Nashville and North Wilkesboro. Although North Wilkesboro has a long way to go, but I think they have the biggest advocate going behind the track, which is actually two advocates. One is Dale Jr. and the other is iRacing.
Right, and
hey, don't laugh. Don't laugh, because iRacing could go, and that might be their one that they go. This is the iRacing 500, and they could do like the real race, and you race in the simulator race next to it while it's going on. I mean, I could see them doing that. Could I get a job at iRacing for marketing that idea? You have contacts there?
Junior.
Just contact
Junior is
Junior.
a huge
Junior's a huge loss.
Huge fan of
any track that's gone away.
Oh yeah,
The Lost Speedway show on Peacock is awesome.
He's a huge fan of iRacing, so that's
yeah.
where that.
So I'm just
comes from. But
like that's a reach, but
Yeah.
I mean it would be awesome if they went back to North Wilkesboro. I like those tracks. I mean I'll be honest. So I'd like to see if they could keep a dirt track on there. I'd like to see it, but I really like to see them at a traditional dirt track. That's my opinion.
I don't think they should be on dirt. Period. The Cup Series. That's just look. That's how you create great drivers. Clint Boyer. He came from. He's a driver that's won a few times in the Cup Series.
Well, yeah, but no one's had the success from dirt that Kyle Larson has had.
No. I was getting to that. Now we have a champion.
Let me take it back. Jeff Gordon's starting dirt
comes from
sprint
dirt.
cars.
Yeah.
So.
No, Kyle Larson's right now the guy.
Here's a wild idea. What if we did a dirt road track in NASCAR? Yeah,
like a rally cross.
Rally.
You mean
let's put jumps.
Oh, you know where they could go?
The
they could go to. Go. What's that place in Wisconsin? Crandon.
Oh yeah,
that'd be awesome. Great NASCAR cars, jumpy cars,
and we'll do multi-class with the super trucks, the stadium trucks,
jumpy trucks. Robbie Gordon's jumpy trucks. That'd be great. That'd be good.
Well, and we'll have dinner with racers be the.
I think we could get we could get the trophy trucks from Score that come out too. That'd be
the not Pooper Sebring.
Not Pooper Sebring, right?
Yeah.
So Nate,
copyright there.
Obviously, Kyle Busch took the win.
He stole it. Man.
He backed into it, right, Nate? Come on, say it.
That was a nuts finish, I will say. Yeah. I mean, Kyle Busch. He wasn't exactly a factor in the race, but I mean, he was always lurking.
He's lurking, so
yeah.
I wasn't surprised. A lot of negative feedback after the race. I saw on the World Wide Web and the but so that I think that's a good conversation though, because I where does dirt racing belong in NASCAR? So that's a good point.
Right. I mean, I think it's just you keep it in the truck series, and you maybe have 3 or 4 races.
Yeah,
I'd even say that.
One of my goals is I want to get to some type of sprint car race, like in Maple Grove down in Pennsylvania, maybe, or because they have the World of Outlaws go there. But I really want to see sprint cars, but I want to see both the non-wing and the World of Outlaws wing cars, because those guys are just crazy, and the midget guys are nuts. I mean, I'd love to go to the Chili Bowl. That'd be out of hand.
Cool.
A week of that, I'd be like losing my mind. I think
you could go watch the mini Indy 500.
The little 500.
The little 500.
The little 500 the night before, right?
Yeah.
Yep. That used to be a big event, like when I was younger. So that was both a midget race and it was a Formula Super V race. And the Super Vs were friggin' awesome. I mean, they were just like, they were downsized Formula Atlantic cars with a Volkswagen Scirocco motor in it, which became the Rabbit or the Gulf GTI motor. And but out of that series, like a lot of great drivers came out of it. Michael Andretti came out of it, Al Unser Jr., Pete Halsmer, Gordon Smiley. I mean, there was a lot of folks that came out of that. So that was fun. So it would be like a two race night. It would be the midgets and then the Super Vs. So it was pretty cool. Pretty cool. I'm dating myself, but that's all right.
No, it's okay. It sounds it. Cool. Because I went to the Indy 500 this year. Last year. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. And we went to Lucas Oil Raceway, and they had the
Indianapolis Raceway Park.
Yes. IRP. I remember. I remember. They put on a good show. They had some a little bit of everything. They had, I think, USF 2000 Pro Mazda.
Oh yeah, USF 2000.
Yep. Yeah. And then there's one. They had those dirt cars. I don't know. The
The
ones with the
midgets.
2 wings, midgets. Okay, all right.
The
All right.
midgets.
I didn't want to
Yeah.
mess it up and like call it something else.
Yeah,
and
no.
That's the wrong one.
Well, yeah, but you're getting Nate. That's like what you saw was exactly what I was talking about. That's okay.
So they were flying around there.
Yeah.
There were some familiar drivers. There was Bobby Santos. He was there. There's a I forget the name, but there was like a NASCAR driver that I know was made a few starts.
Danica Patrick.
Definitely Danica Patrick. Tartar sauce. You know, I'll get back to you on that. But anyway, whatever car was on there, they put on a great show. It was so awesome. Asphalt I think creates way better racing. If you're asking me, I know it's a whole momentum thing in dirt and whole skill.
All right. Well, so what we'll do, Nate, is we're gonna get you to go to Maple Grove, and we'll see some real dirt action.
Trucks.
Those guys are nuts.
Trucks and dirt.
Those guys are nuts. So, all right. Anything else in the world of NASCAR? Did we have a fight after the race? Yes? No? Nothing?
Oh well, with
No,
pom-poms.
anybody. Purse fight, WWE, whatever. Puffing out chests. I don't.
Cars keyed in the parking lot.
Yeah, anything. Crew guys throwing wrenches at each other or anything.
Oh, I mean, that
Doesn't
sounds like
sound
a
like it.
concussion. Well, let me tell you. So, if I'm Tyler Reddick and I've had all of these chances to maybe win a race, and finally I get my chance to win on a pretty big stage, the only dirt race in the season,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden Chase Briscoe flies in, does his thing. Danny Kvyat's his way into the lead.
Maldonado,
crash door. But anyway, so I was just so mind blown. That's not the first time Kyle Busch has won a race like that. If you remember, if you guys did you guys watch the Daytona Road Course race when they did the Busch Clash?
Yeah.
Chase Elliott took out Ryan Blaney and himself, and Kyle Busch ended up winning it.
Yeah, right.
Just because two knuckleheads, took each other out in the final bus stop. I was like, oh my God, you got to be joking. It was that kind of race. Like I'm a Brad Keselowski fan, right? But I can respect the hell out of Kyle Busch. I can. He's a wheelman, and he just another Kyle Busch way to win. And Joe Gibbs Racing, they cracked me up because Denny Hamlin, when Alex Bowman gets those kind of wins, he calls him a hack. So, I mean, is he calling Kyle Busch a hack just because he's like there and something happens in front of him and, oh, surprise, who, and,
Right. Well, like how many times have you seen a NASCAR race finish like that too? Where and I mean, don't get me wrong, I know the bump and run is there, right? But what's the, I guess, the line of respect? That's kind of just the one thing that's kept me kind of away from NASCAR is, you can race hard and rub doors, right, and push people out of the way, but I mean, you're gonna wreck someone to win. I don't know. That's the one thing that just kind of turns me off from the race, and I'm like, well, at that point, if that's how you're gonna win a race, every single time and just not be penalized for it, that's sure. I guess that's a way of racing. I don't agree with it, but I guess it is what it is.
I'm not a huge fan of it either. I mean, I think the worst finish was at Mosport.
That one.
John, what was it? John Hunter Nemechek
Yeah.
took out Cole Custer, just turned left and just stayed left. Like, you're clear.
Yeah, sure.
That was the worst finish in NASCAR, I think.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I could not believe what I was watching. I was like, wow, they should not. I don't know. There's so many thoughts going through my head. I was just like he remembered he had to turn left. That's what it was.
Yeah, at some point you got to turn, right?
That was a day too. But I mean, look, Tyler Reddick, his win's coming, and it's going to happen this year. Because I mean, I think it was last year. He was at Homestead, Miami. He led a lot of the laps and was in second place a lot of the day, and he could have pulled it off there too. But I mean, cautions happen, right, in NASCAR, and so alters the strategy and got to get rid of the stage racing. I said it.
Yeah.
But his win's coming. Chase Briscoe, he's already in the chase, in theory, or the playoffs, right? Oh my God, I gotta update myself. But
they're gonna keep changing that format around until they finally nail it at some point. Well, or if they ever do, who knows?
I mean,
well,
right
Christian,
now,
look at it this way.
Right now, you got all that's like locked in is Will Byron, Bowman, the showman. Kurt Busch after this weekend, unfortunately. Ross Chastain, Larson, Kyle Larson. It's an inside joke here.
Chase great Briscoe. Commercial.
We got Chase Briscoe, and we got Austin Cindric and Denny Hamlin.
Dennis Hamlin.
Yeah. So, there's hope for the rest of these guys because it's 97 races left on the NASCAR calendar, right?
98, Sean.
98.
One.
Okay.
There you go.
Well, next race is Sunday the 24th. That's in 2 weeks.
There you go.
Is that this
Carb
weekend or
Cup.
next week? Is that this?
Yeah,
that's this weekend, right?
That's this weekend.
Yeah,
That's this weekend.
We're going Carb Cup racing.
We're going Talladega. We're going Ricky Bobby.
There's a NASCAR race every weekend.
Every week. Well,
every weekend.
No. The one weekend there isn't a race, I believe, is Mother's Day. I thought they didn't race on Easter too.
They normally have done that. I think it was the last time they had a race in Easter was on Easter was somewhere in the 90s. It was
like a
something crazy like
something that drifted into Sunday, but I don't think they race on. That's the one day I don't think they race is Mother's Day. But anyways, so we're off to Talladega. That's a crapshoot. We'll just wait for the big one, as they say.
Right, stage one and stage two finish.
Geez,
oh my God!
I can't even. I'm not even gonna watch it. It's lost its luster. I mean, I used to like that race, but I can't watch it in the current format. So, anyways, we'll move. Let's move on to some other things. This weekend was kind of more localized in terms of racing in Europe. We had the in England we had the British GT series, which was I caught both rounds of that, and it was pretty good. Sonoma, Christian and I are watching a replay right now of the Fanatec World GT race from Sonoma. They had a doubleheader weekend there this weekend. That was actually pretty good racing. Caught the race on. Caught a replay of Saturday's race. Unfortunately, I didn't catch Sunday's race, but so that was pretty exciting stuff. Good GT3, GT4 race in there, as well as GT3, GT4 at Oulton Park in England in the British GT Series. Two great races. Jean-Marc Gouin won the second race, and he led from pole, but it was a tough race because he pitted in the second race. They had a pit during a sudden rainstorm, and then had to switch over to their, their AM drivers or the less experienced pro drivers. So the hot pros started the race, and then the AM came in and finished the race. So that was kind of cool to see that. So good race in there, and that's a really cool track. Like all the tracks in England, they're pretty cool. Kind of like some of the tracks here in the States. So kind of like that. Other than that, that's about it. In the world of news, today we saw that Peretta Motorsports will be back. That's kind of exciting. Working with ECR on a 3 to 4 race road course schedule. I believe it's Road America, Mid Ohio, and Nashville.
Nashville, yep.
Yeah, and the fourth track is TBD. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool because Simona is Di Silvestro is pretty kick-ass driver, so I'm pretty excited there. And Beth Peretta is a pretty kick-ass person, so glad they're back, at least in some format. Hopefully they'll be back in a full program next year, but we'll see.
And for anyone not catching on, that's Peretta coming back to IndyCar.
Which they ran last year.
Yeah.
And Beth Peretta actually ran the Dodge Viper program in ALMS back in the day, for those old enough to remember that, which was a pretty kick-ass program, which Bill Riley ran. Pretty cool. And they had some pretty kick-ass drivers in that class, in that particular event. Let's see, what else did we see out there in the world? Going to our favorite website, Racer, with some great folks, the folks who work for Paul Fanner.
Well, I'm gonna bring up really quickly Simona De Silvestro. I'm so glad that they're doing the road courses too, because I think that's just her strong suit.
That's a strong suit. Yeah. I think somebody else. I mean, I'll be honest with you, and I hope that she gets to. I hope she gets a couple years in this. I think Tatiana Calderon. I mean, honestly, this is her first go in something this big, in terms of a high performance, super speedway car or big open wheel car. I mean, she's run the lower formulas in Europe, and she's done some prototype racing. She raced with Connor Daly in GP3, I think, when Connor was doing that.
Yep.
So, and Connor speaks very highly of her in that. So I'm hoping. I'd like to see her hang around. I don't want to say hang around, but I want to see her get a chance. A couple of years of this. Because you can't. I mean, Danica definitely improved year in and year out in IndyCar, and then she decided to make the move to NASCAR, which I think was that was the wrong thing, but. I think she could. I think there were more wins for Danica in NASCAR in IndyCar than it could have been in NASCAR. So that was a poor move. But we don't. I'm not her agent, so. Let's see what else we got. Not too much. Some. We got the Miami track update for the Formula One race next month. We're getting very close to the end there. Hopefully, we can. Beat back the nosy neighbors who are complaining. So my thing is, you live next to a football stadium, you got nothing to complain about.
Yeah, they said that the engineering firm that they hired to estimate the amount of noise was 97 decibels, which is equivalent to that of a chainsaw.
So that was the same engineering firm that worked at X1 in Braintree
and that's
Bridgewater.
2.5 miles outside the track for a radius.
Right.
So, I don't think it's going to affect anything. And even so, I think the judge kind of laughed at the case that they brought forward.
It is Florida, and we just, recently had a Florida judge, kick the masks off the airplane. So, anyways, moving on. Enough of that. The only other thing out there, and Nate and I and Christian were talking about this earlier, there's rumors flying around the internet about. And Marshall Pruitt kind of put this out there from Racer.com. Alex Rossi to McLaren in IndyCar. That would be kind of cool. I think Alex needs to. I mean, he's done so many great things with Andretti Motorsports, but I think it's at the point it's time for him to move on. Personally, I'd like to see him at Penske, but because I think he's like the prototypical Penske driver. Just the way he presents himself and the way he thinks about things and stuff like that. But I think being part of Zach Brown's IndyCar team would be good. I think there needs to be my personal opinion is I think there needs to be some other changes strategically at that team in terms of folks on the pit wall. But I think Alex, if he went there, would be great.
So then are we expanding to 3 cars there, or are we
I think
swapping out a driver?
I think there's going to be a swapping out of a driver there.
And based on the way the season is going, I would guess that Rosenquist would be out.
Well, Rosenquist brings money. He brings another sponsor. He brings the Husky Chocolate sponsorship.
Oh, the Husky Chocolate.
So that leaves young Pato Award. I'm not impressed. Nate, what's your thoughts on Pato? Did we lose Nate? Nate
is not physically with us today. He is over the phone. So
we're trying something new technically. So
might have some loss of connection. Anyways, I'll give you my thought on Pato.
Take that.
I think Pato is a good talent. However, compared to
Colton.
because that's the driver.
That's
of his
all you can
generation.
compare him
Yeah.
to. Yeah, that's all you compare him to.
Colton is definitely the more level-headed guy out
Yeah.
of the two, and he's much more. He's able to take care of everything a lot better because when they've done onboard comparisons between the two, you got Colton, who is really smooth and sounds really level-headed over the radio,
Yep.
and you can see he's thinking like really far ahead in the race,
Right.
and not just in the moment. Well, on top of while doing everything in the moment. But Pato, whenever I watch an onboard, he's always seesawing at the wheel, just hacking left and right.
Yeah.
And you gotta sit there and question it. You're like,
Yeah. The other thing
is he just killing tires?
I'll be
all the
honest
time?
with you. The other thing that I'm not really impressed with, that I am impressed with Colton. I mean, I mean, we have it in karting because I'm helping you, so it's kind of the father-son dynamic, which is always interesting.
Yeah.
At times. But the way Brian Herter manages the race, calls it strategically, calms him down. I think is that's light years away from what Pato has in terms of what's on the pit wall for him. I don't think he has the experience on the wall that Andretti has by bringing in Brian Herter there. If Rossi goes to McLaren, I think it'd be in IndyCar. I think that'd be a great move there. I think it's time for a change. I think it's Nate. How long have they been together? 6 years.
At least
6 years sounds about right.
Okay.
This is probably the seventh
Year.
because
Yeah.
because in 16 he won.
At a
the
certain
500.
point, a driver has to move on.
Yeah.
But I really would it's tough to move on to it's a hard sell, but I mean I think it's two places he's going to end up. Well, there's technically three, because he could end up at Ganassi, because no one really knows what Jimmy Johnson's going to do. But Jimmy Johnson basically there is that whole deal is all him, and the other part of it with Kanan running, what's Kanan run the ovals, one-off oval races, or is he just running Indy this year?
I think he's retired.
Yeah, I think Jimmy is committed to the full schedule this
He
year.
is.
Yeah.
Right.
'Cause
But I
Tony
thought
Kanan's
Kanan
no
was
more.
coming back to run the oval races with American
Yeah,
Legion.
it's just Jimmy
Oh.
Johnson in the 48 for the full year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just Jimmy.
Carvana car.
Yeah.
But I mean, Jimmy, he's the one. Look, I'll be honest with you. He's put that deal together.
Oh yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
I have nothing to do with that. That's him cultivating his NASCAR relationships and stuff like that. So that's not a problem. And to tell you the truth, did damn well at Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He had some amazing restarts. He was
Yep.
able to pass
Yep.
a lot of
So,
cars on the outside.
So
And the
Jimmy
outside was
Johnson,
very
Jimmy
thin.
Johnson on the ovals in IndyCar is not a problem.
No. Road courses, yikes.
It's a problem. All right.
It is. He is significantly off the pace. I mean,
He's
you just look at
not
like a Laguna
as-
Seca
n-
test.
Not as
but
much
not
this year as
bad
last
it
year.
was last year.
Right.
By no means.
Right. No, but
I would bet all the money in the world he would be coming last. You know what I mean? In every single road course race, and I'd have a great return.
Yep.
But I mean, kind of backing up to McLaren. Did you guys see that Indy 500 paint scheme that they have for 5, 6, and 7 cars?
Oh yeah, they just released that today,
what
right?
did they do?
It's ugly as
sorry.
hell.
Can you explain it?
Yeah, I'm not.
Well, there's a fashion company called Undefeated Design,
Oh.
and they're sponsoring on all 3 cars, but it's a mix because all 3 different cars have like their own main sponsors, such as like the 5 cars, Arrow,
It's
and then
on,
one.
I just saw it.
It's a bit. It leaves me with a sore eye looking at these cars.
Yeah, the green doesn't really.
Yeah, that's kind of odd. It's like a
Come out that
military
much.
green, olive green.
Yeah.
Why? Like why? Like that's
I
not
mean,
even
it's-
Undefeated Design's color.
Don't get me wrong. it's cool going to see Montoya back in the other car.
Yes.
One.
So that'll be sweet.
One more time.
I like Montoya. How was it out there? One? You know, I love him. He's the best.
Yeah. So it'll be cool to see him back at the back at Indy.
Let's see what else. So that I think that really, honestly, that really comes up to wasn't a whole heck of a lot. You know, some updates on the Nashville track. That's pretty cool.
Well, yeah, because when they would leave the bridge, they would like hit, bottom out so much.
Right. But what I like about that is at least they're proactive and they're thinking about changes. So I think that's great. You know, and honestly, I think that's a great venue for that.
Great race, otherwise.
Oh, look at this! Just saw this. Wow.
What's this?
Jenson Button targeting a return to Le Mans. That's pretty cool. I like that.
I'd like to see him win. That'd be cool.
Big fan of Jenson.
Another F1 driver winning at Le Mans.
You know what he's going to be doing this year? Rallycross.
Yes.
Nitro.
Yep.
No way.
Yeah.
Jenson Button.
Yes, he's entering a team. Him and Ollie Bennett are going to be participating in it, and that's going to be awesome seeing him go up against Travis Pastrana.
Yep, he's going to be in
Scott Speed and the rest of the boys
in a Nitro Rallycross series.
That is fantastic.
I think he'll beat Scott Speed, for sure.
I don't know. Scott Speed's pretty good at it.
Hey, he is.
Yeah,
I mean, you know.
But I think that's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think that's kind of like the world of racing. We got Imola this weekend. We got Talladega.
You know what I forgot to talk about or mention last week was that this race at Imola is the first sprint race.
Yes, yeah. That's right.
Fantastic.
So if anyone is unfamiliar with the sprint race format, we're doing one practice.
Oops.
Nate. Somebody
Not me.
turn off their
Not
phone.
me.
I thought I turned it off. I thought I muted it.
It's okay. That's how you know it's not a high production quote.
High production. Silent mode's on.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
Anyways,
That's me. Sorry.
so format for this sprint weekend is first practice, and then we're going to go right into qualifying for the sprint race. And that qualifying is the traditional Q1, Q2, and Q3 format. And that's all going to happen on Friday. Then on Saturday is going to be free practice 2. And then they're going to go into the sprint race. And the sprint will use the results from the qualifying session on Friday to determine the sprint race grid. And then after the sprint race that finish will then set the grid for the race on Sunday. So I have not checked the weather, but I've heard rumors that it might be rain out there.
Oh, I want it to rain again at Imola. That it just produces such a great race. And I mean, it could give Lando Norris the chance that he needs to go on that podium, right? Because I mean, there's no way he's going to beat Mercedes just on dry conditions with the car that they have now. There's just no way. And if it were to be a rain race, I mean, I kind of look forward to like an epic battle with Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc at the front again. It'd be the first rain race; those two would be going after each other, I think, and that'd be something to watch.
I've just taken a look at the weather, and it looks like more than a 50% chance of rain
Friday.
Ooh.
Yeah, now we're talking.
Saturday was pretty dry. 20% or less chance of rain, so maybe a scattered shower in there. Who knows for the sprint race? Sunday is 50-50, so we'll have to see when we get a little bit closer there. But you know, typical European weather, we might get rain, might get sun. We don't know, and you know, this could throw a wrench into everything. And who knows? Maybe K-Mag gets a win. You know?
Yeah.
Maybe just have all the strategy got this time, and we'll be up there on the podium.
Albon.
Oh yeah, Williams. Hey, or maybe maybe Aston Martin can finally score a point, or they'll be the first two cars out.
If my bet was on Aston Martin, I would say Vettel.
Yeah,
Sebastian Vettel's going to get their first points, not Lando Norris. What am I saying? Jesus. Lance Stroll. Lance Stroll. Let me just take a stroll backwards. Lance
That'd be a
Stroll.
crazy driver change. Lance Stroll for Lando Norris.
Team Canada.
Hey,
There.
yeah. It'd be an improvement for Aston Martin, for sure.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Well, I don't know where development on that car is
I
going, but
think
it's not
also this weekend.
They're the only team to not score any points.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yep. Not yet.
It's coming.
Other news that I've seen is there is rumors of potentially the South African Grand Prix being returning to the calendar for F1, but that's most likely going to happen in 2024, if anything, if that were to happen at all. The track is a FIA Grade 2, so it would need to be upgraded to a Grade 1. So they would need to make some modifications to the track for safety improvement.
Guess what else is this weekend?
What do we have?
Oh, this is awesome. The hand-cooked 12 hours of Spa.
Ooh,
I love that.
That'll be some good.
I love that
there.
race.
What? I didn't hear him.
It's the hand cooked 12 hours of Spa.
Oh, I'm on mute.
Oh, you're not. No, you're
sorry.
good.
I thought it was.
Nate's just having technical issues hearing.
Excuse me.
I'm trying to find out. Wonder if. Hold on.
Also in the news this week, Charles Leclair gets his watch stolen.
Oh yeah, nothing like a $325,000 piece of jewelry stolen off your wrist.
Yeah.
So did the person that stole his watch say, "Watch out, I'm gonna get this watch"? Oh, just a bad dad joke.
Yeah, that's bad.
That was really bad.
Had to get it out.
Anyway,
That's all right. I'm trying to find out. I'm trying to see if there's a schedule. Race guide, maybe this is it. Calendar and races.
the level of preparation for this podcast is through the roof.
Yeah. Oh, so this weekend at Zandvoort, it's the VW Fun Cup Series.
Oh yes,
Fantastic race in there.
That is a
I'm gonna
premier class that
I am
this
gonna
podcast
just tell
watches.
you. Yeah, I'm a big fan of this. I'm gonna be blatantly honest. If anyone hasn't seen these things, these cars are amazing. They're tube frame chassis, and they have a Volkswagen Beetle body on them, and they are paddle shift. And they're built by WRT in WRT's in Belgium, right? Or Germany. They've been kind of rumored with the LMDH program for Audi. So, but this series is fantastic. If there's any way we can get these cars here to the States, they're like they're 4 to 6, actually they're running a 25-hour race. They're part of the 25-hour race at Spa later in the year. And then all of their races are 8 hours in length. I mean, that is fantastic.
That's great track time.
Yeah, just humongous track time.
Significant.
YouTube it, look it up, people. It is a fantastic series.
The VW Fun Cup,
and they run. This is there is a portion of this that runs in the UK. They do have a kind of a splinter series and local series, but the overall European series. So they run at a couple different tracks: Zandvoort, Spa, Magny-Cours, back at Spa, Rennes in France, and then Zolder. I mean, but this is great stuff. I mean,
it's a good calendar.
Yeah, and last year it was super cool. They actually participated at the 24-hour Le Mans as part of one of the support races, and saw some video from that. That was just fantastic. The crap going on down the Mulsanne in those things is amazing. I shouldn't say crap, but just the drafting and that is just fantastic. And honestly, there isn't any. I did not see. I mean, this is all amateur drivers. I mean, I did not see any like crappy Brazilian, fades to the wall and stuff, or the Scott Pruitt fade. So, but great stuff. Great series, fun stuff. I really would like to see this series brought to the States. I really think it would be a huge hit here. They get massive grids too. So, and anyways, moving on. Anyways, that's obscure racing for you for the weekend. So moving on to this past weekend, Christian and I, and our splinter group, the Red Mist karting team, participated in the NHKA Open Practice Day at New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
Yeah, it was a good day. Started, went from 9 o'clock in the morning to 4 in the afternoon, testing all day, and they broke it up into groups, different groups, depending on your class. So I think we got 6 sessions
In each class, yeah. We ran
yeah,
two carts this
we
weekend.
ran 2 carts. We ran in the World Formula class, which is a Brazen Stratton World Formula motor, so it's a 4-stroke. And then we also brought back to the track our CRG Rotax cart
Right.
to run in Tag Senior, because we're going to get back into the swing of that class, and try and get back to where we started.
Yeah,
from where we started.
that's where we started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we had,
once we made the jump out of rental carts, we decided, why not go grab a 2-stroke and go have fun in that. So that's what we did.
Right.
And had some pretty good success at F1 Outdoors.
We're not like Nate, who decided, I'm going to jump into a 2-stroke, and then after 4 races, I'll jump in a shifter cart.
Sean, I think you'd fly in a shifter cart.
Me or you?
You.
No, I'll fly right out of the car.
Hey, you almost flew right into the fence at turn 1 there.
Well, Jason Aldean, I'll never forget him.
Thank God
he did
for him,
offer me
though.
that ride.
That
but
was pretty cool,
I needed
though.
all of that rumble strip.
You did.
Into
You
the
did.
fountain quarter. Wow.
Yeah. Wow. You got there quick, huh?
Yeah, I was trying to be the fastest guy in town. That's all.
Yeah.
you were definitely the fastest guy on entry for sure.
Yeah. Hey, good point there.
Yeah, right. Passing the fountain corner, purple.
I like that, though. The best part was after you came out of the cart and was like, yeah. So I started my downshifts mid corner. You're supposed to do them pre corner.
I thought I can maybe go in there through 6th, but I just wanted to see what might happen. But I was like, down to 5th. Okay. So, yeah, definitely. Yeah, but if I'm learning a new track, I'm going to try to throw into the corner as hard as I can and see how it grabs. And I could just kind of catch up with it after.
Yeah, so you're not you don't build your speed up. You just go right for it and then try and dial it back.
Right.
You ever crashed?
Because that way,
you ever crashed doing that?
I crashed because I didn't have brakes one time, and that was at K1 speed.
That
story pretty well. If I remember correctly, you had a front row seat to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder who's the mechanic that works there. Yeah, so the NHKA Preseason Testing, there was 120 entries for the weekend, and it was just one day of testing on Saturday, and we had we had rain in the forecast, and no one was really quite sure what was going to happen, because they were scattered showers going to be throughout the day, I guess, at least in the afternoon. So we got up to lunch, and then right after lunch is when some of the showers started to fall, but it was really light stuff, so you were on dry tires the entire time. And then I don't know what it is with that group, but the minute we saw drops, everyone just packed up and went home. So by lunchtime, half the group just left. I don't know why. Yeah. Part of it must have been partially the rain, but I think the other half was they just probably wanted to go home
because it was Easter.
It was Easter.
Sunday was Easter.
Yeah.
Sunday was Easter.
So the Saturday was the day before Easter.
You're right, Christian. I was surprised the number of people that packed up and left. You're paying good money to have a practice day,
right?
And the folks at NHKA were trying to, they did a great job adjusting the schedule. They shortened the lunch break up to make sure that, I think they were trying to get at least, 5 runs in per class.
Yeah.
I think that's what they were looking at.
Because we had a total of 7 or 8 groups throughout the day.
And 120 drivers.
Yep,
they did max
120.
out at the.
No, 130 was the max that they were going for.
So they had 120.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still.
Anyways, but yeah, and then each practice session was about 7 to 10 minutes. So you were looking at about an hour per run, or
track time.
One hour to get through
all the groups.
All the groups.
Groups.
You'd go out, do your session, and then you'd have about an hour to go. With us running two carts, we were basically every half hour. So we didn't really make a whole lot of changes. I mean, right out of the gate, the World Formula, we were quick.
We were quick.
There wasn't that when I went out there, I took it kind of easy for the first session, or at least for the first couple laps, just to kind of get my bearings with it. But
because you haven't driven that track too much.
No, Loudon definitely wasn't a track that I've been at the whole time. But after driving half the season last year, you definitely more track time gets you
better.
Gets you better lap times for sure. But after being cautious for the first couple laps, I just kind of got right into the groove and passed everyone back that passed me, and then I didn't really look back from there. And then when I did kind of look back towards the end of the session just to see where everyone was at behind me, I couldn't see anyone behind me. It was definitely I definitely felt kind of like McLaren, in that class. You feel like you're one of the fastest teams out there, but I guess we'll see where we actually stand come race one, because I guess there's only one way to go down, which is
the other thing is
one way to go is which is down.
Yeah, and it's kind of curious to see how we're still running the same tires we ran last season for the last half. So are we at that point where the tires are maybe at that cliff, but we don't know yet? The World Formula ran great. I mean, I was happy. It's the kind of preseason work that we put into it.
Yeah, it's very very simple kart to work on and maintain. So which I think that helps too. So you're able to go out there and focus on just the driving.
I think the other thing was that you had that early season spring training, if you will, with the Simcraft 24 hours.
Yeah.
With the 206, which is it's the same engine but a little bit less powerful.
Yeah. So the Simcraft 24, we ran the LO206 Briggs & Stratton motor, and then here in NHKA I run the World Formula engine. There is a 206 class, but we opt to run the World Formula engine.
Right.
And the only difference between that is the World Formula has a little bit more power to it.
A little more, yeah.
So,
yeah.
But overall, both built by Briggs & Stratton, both incredible motors.
Yeah. So it was overall with the World Formula, I think it was good weekend. I mean, carts started up, no problems.
Yep.
Did we do it? We didn't do anything. I think seriously, other than adding gas.
Yeah, because I think our focus was on the Rotax itself, because first time in 2.5 years we've gone out and run that kart.
Right.
So my first session out was with that, and I gotta say it was nice to just kind of
ease into
it and get back into the feeling. My rib was definitely hurting after one of the bolts just poking at me, but that can be fixed between the next race.
Yeah.
So no broken ribs.
no
just
broken ribs.
A little sore. That's all.
No, and I think the kart performed flawlessly. I want kind of shout out to Jeremiah Damon for the setup on it and the preseason prep on it that he did. Appreciate him taking the time and fitting that into his schedule to do that work for us. We will be we will be transferring over a new motor for the opening race at Canaan. We're going to be moving to the full Rotax Evo.
The Canaan half track.
Yeah, Canaan half track.
Canaan half track, which is it's pretty quick.
It's still
Still quick, a little gimmicky with the infield section, but once you get out of that, that's a quick track. Appreciate the folks at NHKA letting us run the Evo upgrade motor for this weekend. We just didn't have enough time to get the Evo motor on. So
between last year and this year, the rules have updated. So now, if we're going to run the Rotax motor, I should clarify the Tag Senior class. It is open motor to some degree.
Yep.
So the motors that we've seen run there in the past are the Rotax, the Rock, the IME X30, and the Leopard. That's been another one, and then it's the Vortex. I think is the other.
Vortex is the Rock.
Oh, the okay. Yeah. So we do have a diverse field of motors, right. But and everything is
weight adjusted.
Yeah, weight adjusted. So everyone's minimum weight for depending on which engine you run, your weight will either go up or down.
And the one motor, which I find it amazing, that has to be sealed, is the Rotax.
Yeah, so the rules that they've opted for going into this year is they're going to follow all of the Rotax Max Challenge rules, and the Rotax Max is every kart runs a Rotax motor and everything. It's basically the idea of what the LO206 is, where everything is sealed right out of the box and you just put it on the kart.
That's for the Rotax.
Yeah, that's what Rotax is trying to do with that series too, where you just take it out and put it on. And
if you run the Rock motor, you can run. It's not sealed.
Yeah.
So it can be tuned. So the difference is that I believe the Rock runs a higher weight.
Yes. Yeah.
For the class, and the IME runs a higher weight.
Yeah.
The Leopard have not seen that for a while. So
yeah, I don't. And some of that too is I think just kind of support from help that you can get around the track too. A lot of people around here know the Rotax pretty well, know the X30 pretty well, and there's been enough people experimenting with the Rock only because of the Canaan Full Track, which Canaan Motorsports Club, Canaan Motorsports Club is a
private track.
Yeah, private track for cars. However, it's a mile and a third, or just under.
Full road course.
Yeah, the full road course.
It's
either a mile and a quarter or a mile and a third.
Yeah, it's pretty long. It's high speed.
In a car, very tight. In a go-kart, very wide of a track.
Any class,
you can easily do 4 wide around that track.
A lot of drafting.
And you're talking about doing a mile and a quarter to a mile and a third distance, and the lap time is under a minute now.
Yeah.
In the Rotax and the shifter carts, or sorry, Tag Senior class and the shifter cart classes.
The shifter carts must have an insane race.
It does, but
just because I figured there'd be more draft.
The
senior class and the master class and the 125cc. So in the 125 class, the tag class, I think is a better race.
Yeah, and I think that just comes down to setup and time that people put in, because I think you can definitely see the guys who know how to tune the shifter cart and get the gearing right.
Right.
Whereas, with the Tag Senior class, it's as long as you get the front drive sprocket set to the right area, then you can play around with any of the rear sprockets and get your gearing down.
And the biggest thing, other than that, is just making sure you nail the jetting for the day.
I mean, if you're going to talk about really good racing, I mean, then you're going to go into the 4-stroke class, because
the 4-stroke is sick.
The drafting is unreal. It is basically super speedway racing with go-karts, but on a road course. And there's very few guys that are able to pull away from the pack at all.
You got to be patient.
Yeah, you got to be really patient, and you got to know how to work with someone.
Last year, for example, when you ran was it Carmania?
Yes.
Once we got the 4-stroke up and running, we got the World Formula up and running, you and Rick Brown got really patient together You didn't start. I mean, I think you started like 5th, maybe.
Yeah, it was somewhere up.
Somewhere, wasn't it? What
But we both got a good launch off the line.
You got a good launch off the line, and
Yeah.
you and Rick actually hitched up, and the two of you.
But we didn't bump draft. We didn't bump draft.
No bump drafting because bump
no bump
drafting is legal, and that will fall afoul to
nobody likes the black flag.
to the commissioner.
Yeah.
It's an actual rule. You can't bump draft.
No bump drafting.
Yeah,
no.
So
No.
yeah, that's
kind of
And I'll be honest with you. Shout out to the guys at Formula. What's it? Hooligans? What the hell are they?
Formula
What's that pocket? Hooligans.
Hooligan.
Charlie Hoza, who is one of the co-hosts there, he was running and he got caught in a situation where he was the middle cart in a bump draft.
Yeah.
So he got bumped into somebody, and he literally, I thought he was going out of the ballpark.
Yeah.
But somehow, God love him, he saved it.
And just for reference, the World Formula going around Canaan full track, you're averaging 60 to 65 miles an hour. And then in the tag senior class, where averaging speed is between 80 and 85.
85. You can touch 90 maybe with the right gearing and a wind. So.
Yeah, you need a really strong
gust of wind.
But the big thing is staying patient within the draft. And
it is real road course racing.
Yeah,
where you got to be patient. You can't race like you're on a sprint race go-kart track anymore.
Yeah, and I mean Christian and Rick really Rick's like kind of the class of the field. I mean he knows the World Formula motor really well. He knows how to set the cart up. Just an impressive he does a great job. And but Christian's hung with him, and it was pretty crazy. It was like they would nose to tail for about 3/4 of the race, and then unfortunately little bit of a little issue in the race, and then Christian lost the draft. And what happens is he lost the draft running by himself, and he got caught by the guys behind him.
Yeah.
So he got kind of mixed up, and I think what did we finish 4th?
Fourth
or
or
fifth.
sixth. I was just off the podium, but still hovering around.
But it was for us. That was like the first time we really ran the four stroke.
Yeah, I was gonna say first race back in 2 years, because when we opened up the book, it was 2 years to the date that the last time we ran a kart. So it was a successful weekend, I think. Outside of that, to walk away with almost a podium and minus one minor mistake, not bad.
Yeah. So I mean, I'd like to hopefully we can duplicate those efforts this year. We're kind of excited. We're kind of interested to see where we're going to go with the new with our new Evo motor. We're going to put that on. I think we're going to try and get that on the kart this weekend, and then go from there. But obviously you have to kind of think about maybe looking at we may have to look at the rock motor as well.
Yeah. I think the unfortunate thing with being in the Northeast for karting is, we don't have the luxury of having track time.
Anymore, yeah.
And having testing days. I mean, especially for us too, being in Massachusetts, the one go-kart track, F1 Outdoor or F1 Boston or X1
Boston Outdoors in Bridgewater.
Both
on copyright Christian.
When you've been there for so long, you got
nice move.
Yeah, no, I still call that F1 Boston F1 Outdoors. I do too.
But yeah, unfortunately, that track has closed.
Yeah,
and so the nice thing that track had was on Tuesdays during the summer, were open practice days from 12 to 6.
And
you had 6 hours of just open track time and could go do whatever you want. And it's a lot like other tracks out there in the country too, or out there in the world. But being up in the Northeast, we don't have that readily available to us, And I think the nearest track to us is either OVRP,
New Jersey
Motorsports Park, and then I think Pitt.
Yeah. But there's also those guys way up in Buffalo.
Is it Buffalo or is it more up?
No, it's between Buffalo and Niagara Falls or something. There's a track up there.
Buffalo is right
I
next
mean,
to Niagara.
Well, yeah, but it's like in that
Or is
area.
it or is it close or is it more north of
it's-
Albany? I thought there was a
no.
track further up that way.
No, Albany. I don't know. Anyways, so that
Not
you know,
in
we're
Albany,
kind
but
of limited
way
now.
closer to
I
the
mean,
border.
obviously, like if we were in California, we'd be at a track every friggin' day.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen those between the ride from Vegas to LA. I've seen the karting tracks that are in the desert there. Those things are amazing. You know, it's definitely one of those things where track time is definitely helps.
Yeah.
Nate, did you come down for some of those open practice days?
Yeah, I've been down to a few, just not recently, but
Yeah. No,
Actually, you know what?
No,
Too? Every race weekend that was at F1 Outdoors, there was a practice day on Saturday, and every race was on Sunday. So you always went in with a 2-day race weekend.
2-day race weekend.
Yeah,
that was awesome though when they had the double race weekend and Friday was the race.
Yes.
Yeah.
it's a fall classic.
Yeah,
that was
fall
fun.
classic. That was a great weekend.
We did the triple one weekend. We did the F1 double, and then we did the F Series weekend. We did
RMAX.
Yeah, that was fun.
because RMAX
That was our
went there
first. That was kind of creepy because like guys were like coming by with scanners scanning our motor. That was kind of interesting. But but actually we didn't do that bad.
No,
we finished like fifth or sixth. Kyle Puzo finished just in front of us, and Kyle at the time was probably the best 125 guy.
Yeah, and then but I was hanging right with him.
Yeah, you were hanging. You got kind of shifted there on that. Some guy like dive bombed you.
Yeah,
or something.
there was a couple of guys that just kind of threw it down.
They don't
there.
care.
And no, which fair enough. The kid who won, he was miles ahead. I don't know. He must have just had everything perfect.
Yeah, it wasn't his.
Yeah, I also heard that he was able to sit on a dyno with his motor.
Yeah, that motor was sitting on the dyno a lot. But I don't know. So we're gonna one of the things we're gonna look at with the two-stroke is possibly looking at done some research on the rock motor, which would open up a few more things for us to maybe go run.
Yeah.
So that's a possibility. Anyone who listens to the podcast, I suggest you kind of get on the Margay Ignites website if you're interested in running some other races where you can do rental programs with those folks. You can actually do one at Indianapolis on the road course there.
Yep.
You can do one at what's that one? Rock Island.
Yep.
Rock Island you can do, which is that's a street circuit.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Actually,
Nate, we got to get you in that.
Hey, I'm available. I'm always open
Do you
for
have
a
a
drive.
check? Do you have a check? Do you have cash?
We'll work on that.
Well, you have a check, right? It's just whether the check bounces or not.
Yeah, we'll just I'll write it out.
I can get
We'll see
Newport
what happens.
Propane to sponsor you.
Like at day 23. Yeah, just keep trying.
No, I know. No, because a bunch of us want to go to. I'd like to go to Rock Island, check that out.
You know what other race that I find pretty cool is the Quincy Grand Prix.
The Quincy, Illinois, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's another crazy one.
I like that.
Yeah,
that'd
be fun.
It's basically just around a park.
Yeah,
more or less.
Yeah, it's in a park.
Yeah,
and there's trees.
Yeah,
you could get hurt. It's like on
it looks like
it's like when we were on the golf cart.
Yeah,
and we talk about
exactly
because our favorite thing is I'd love to win Powerball by a golf course and widen the golf cart path so we could do kart racing on it.
Yeah,
but
or at the very least, you do kind of like
TT.
Yes.
Yeah, like Isle of Man.
Right, and you just you go from
hole 1.
Yeah, the tee at the first hole, and you finish at hole 18. And you or
but
at the
you
tee box at 18.
You get multiple runs.
Yeah, if you can get multiple runs at it, depending on how many people
show up.
And
then on Sunday we go backwards. We run it reverse.
Yeah, and then we'll have a day each day winner and a combined winner.
That's how you determine a real winner.
Yeah, but what do you think about like on a golf course? You do the golf cart path with a go kart,
obviously paved. Nate,
we lost him.
Oh,
he's back.
Hello,
Nate.
Yeah, you got me.
Yeah, we got you.
What do you think? Like a TT on a golf course when you do the golf cart path.
I mean, hell yeah, let's do it.
All right, great. We'll
I'm
put a hay
game.
bale right from the
my
tree.
my worst
That's
idea
safe,
for
I
a
think.
race is like having Crown Vics and Volvo wagons, multi-class racing. That's my
They
worst
did
idea.
run the Volvo wagon in British Touring Car. If you look that up, it was pretty cool back in the day.
You know, I've seen that a few times.
Yeah.
What is it, the S90 or S60?
Yeah, Jason
What's it
Plato
called?
ran that. Pretty cool.
Yeah, seeing a wagon go through a
I
racetrack
like
is
dating
something
myself.
else. Very
I'm gonna
underused, I
I'm
think.
gonna have to get Pete Sigourney on here because Pete's the only one that can keep up with me, or I can keep up with Pete. But so we're gonna look into a few things for this season. We'll hopefully get the Rotax up and running. We do have another chassis that we gotta.
Yeah, we gotta figure. Well, that's the card that we gotta figure out.
We gotta figure out. Maybe we can get it up and running and maybe slip Nate into it.
Yeah.
I make a good reserve driver, don't I, for Miss Race?
No, but we were just talking. No, the
No,
cart's
like-
fast.
Yeah, if anyone wants to run it, you know.
No, we can get you in it, but we just got to get it. We got to get a couple things done. The bearings we got to replace. There's some body work that we need to get done.
Yeah, there's some time and resources that need to be put into that car to
Yeah.
make it.
The other thing is that the other two motors we have for those the wheel formulas we need to kind of get. Well, actually,
one's good.
One's good.
The other one needs some work.
We should.
Yeah, we can get that. We can get that going.
We can get that going. I think I was going to suggest something we can talk after this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the other thing is to see where we're going to be with the Rotax. So we don't. I mean the two-stroke. I mean we've been running the Rotax motor. So, obviously the Rock looked fast this weekend. But there was. I mean honestly, that was the only other kart that was faster than you.
That was the X30.
I think they're running a Rock.
I guess we'll have to look closer next time.
We'll look closer. Much like the competition was looking close at the motor you were running.
Yeah.
Which was kind of funny.
Yeah. So,
Nate, we had spies looking at the motor.
Yeah. They thought it was.
Nate's disappeared.
I think he.
Anyways,
I think it's time to wrap this up.
All right. So, thanks for joining us for episode 2. Appreciate it. Looking forward to some more discussions. Maybe possibly next week. We got a big weekend, Formula One, NASCAR, and stuff, and looking forward to our first race weekend. Maybe we'll get some folks from the NHKA over the next couple of weeks to drop in on talk about various classes. Alex Gomes possibly for Rotax, Hosa for the World Formula, maybe Rich Hemingway.
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
Yeah, all those guys. But maybe we'll get some of those.
We could have a round table.
Could
have a round table. Anyways, thanks
Love
for
to.
joining us.
That'd be a great discussion.
Yeah.
What would be a great discussion, Nate?
F1 Boston. Talk about those races.
Oh, you mean like an alumni show?
You
You mean like an alumni show? We could do that.
Yeah.
I want to hear Rich Hemingway on how how he did the NOLA 24 hours. I want to hear his perspective.
Yeah,
Jeff Gutterson, if we get him.
An F1 Boston retrospective would be awesome because I can name like two. Well, I know like 3 folks that I'd like to have on that show. 2 of the Harvey brothers. Who are the best people that I learned so much about karting and racing against those 2, and Mike Glover.
Yep.
At least
we'll have 2 parts of Mike Glover. We'll have multiple.
That's the heavyweight class, and then you guys, you folks in the non-weight challenge class could, Gomes, Hemingway,
me
Labrador.
Me and Alex have need to.
Yeah, we gotta get it. We gotta get Alex on.
And I've talked to him about.
And then Nate, I don't want to date ourselves. We could go back to junior league.
Yeah. We're ancient.
That's definitely for another time.
That's a. But anyways, so with that, I think we're out.
Mm-hmm.
Sir.
Yeah, that's a wrap on episode 2.
Episode 2. Thanks for joining
us. That was
us,
fun.
and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.